Hey, folks, welcome to InTheMoneyStocks.com's live trading action video. My name is Gareth Soloway. Today's date is Thursday, July 6th, 2017. Well, we have to talk about Tesla today, folks, because Tesla is dropping another 6%, down $20 on the day. Now, again, I am getting intrigued at a couple levels I want to go over with you guys in terms of where it's going to have a technical bounce. It will only be a short-term bounce, so again, I wouldn't get too crazy about it. You want to get in, you want to get out, and I'll give you the levels in a minute. But again, the key is who was short from near the highs, and the answer was I was with the research center members here at InTheMoneyStocks.com. Not a lot of people can say that because people kept on getting killed on trying to short this because they didn't know how to pick the levels, guys. They didn't know where the stock was going to top out. We did here at InTheMoneyStocks.com because we have the PPT methodology, a proprietary methodology that gives us the exact levels. And again, you can clearly see here, pivot high, pivot high, pivot high. Three peaks to a valley is a term we use in trading. And again, it tells you that generally when something does a three peak, that's where the top is going to be. But you also want to have other factors involved. And again, you can see that generally, if you look at a line like, so let's do this, right? So let's go right to that high right there. So pivot high to pivot high. And then you could even go from here up and look at that as well. There's a bunch of little lines here. There's actually multiple here. Actually, this is one of my favorites. Look at this one. So if you take the low here before the beginning of the run and you put it to high to high to high, it gives you this upper area. And this is the area where, again, the stock was likely going to top out and ultimately did. Now it's in free fall. And again, to be on the short side here, we just actually took in, I think it was about 11% profit plus on this thing since we've been holding it. But again, you have to just look at the common sense aspect to things. I mean, Tesla, again, is not a profitable company, really. The company is up on hopes and dreams. It's up on Elon Musk, his hopes and dreams as well. And I've done videos on this in the last month or so talking about this and how, again, at some point, you have to show something for the price value. And again, I love Elon Musk. I love the idea of electric cars and alternate energy. I love all that stuff. But there has to still be a factor there. There has to be something that justifies a current price. And at $380, I mean, there just wasn't, flat out. Bottom line is, you all want to know where we're going to buy it now. And again, I just covered my short. Reason I covered my short, because you were coming into this level. So see this little pivot low right here? Again, that's the smart area, in my opinion, to cover it. Now, it doesn't mean I'm going to flip it around and buy it, because basically there's a risk-reward aspect here. So right here, the reward to holding the short becomes diminished and not worth it. But at the same time, buying it is not a high enough reward yet. So where are we going to look for that, guys? And I'll give you the level right here. I have a major pivot point basically at 290 to 295 right in here. All right, so pivot low, pivot high. There's a gap area right in here. This is my target for a retrace. So basically, if it gets to about 295 or a little bit lower, that's where, in my opinion, I'm going to start nibbling. And again, I don't think I'll go all in. You know, smart traders, they have an allocation, right? They know every stock they're going to buy, they're going to have an allocation to it. Smart traders don't go all in. What they do is they buy a little bit at a key level, understanding that it could pierce that level, maybe touch the daily 200 moving average, where they buy the other half or buy another third or whatever they're doing in that respect. And I think that's so important for investors to understand. So again, this is my area for my beginnings of accumulation. I'll probably accumulate a half position right in here between 290 and 295, and then I'll add to it if and only if it gets down to the 200 daily moving average, which currently sits around 259. Probably rises about $1 a day though. All right. And again, guys, just understand this. I mean, the market's finally seeing the reality and people are getting scared. You had Goldman Sachs, I think it was Goldman, that downgraded it to a price target of like 190 or 180 or something like that. I honestly don't think in the short term it's going to go that low because Elon Musk loves to be out there pumping his stock and so forth. So at some point, he's going to come out and start talking about the stock and pumping it up. At that point, I think you will see a bounce on it. Plus, there are a lot of investors who wish they were in Tesla the whole run up from this 180, 190 level all the way up. And at certain levels, they're going to say, okay, well, it's discounted enough. If I liked it at 375 but didn't buy it, I'll buy it here at 295 or 290. All right. So, and again, I want to be clear as well. I'm not looking to get married to the stock. I don't marry any stock. All right. Stocks are there to be used and then sold, bought and sold or shorted and covered. All right. You don't fall in love with a stock because things are constantly changing in the market, whether it's market conditions or stock conditions. The point is, if I buy here, let's say it bounces, I would say my target would be this pivot right here to about 325. Guess what? I'm out. I'll take a 10% gain. I just made 11% on the short. Guess what? If it bounces 10% off my level, I'll take that in a week or two. No problem. I can make much more money doing it that way than being a hope and pray trader. And the crazy thing about it, when we were up here, I just want to say this because I think it's so interesting, and probably some of you guys watching are the people I'm going to be talking about right now, although I'm sure not everyone, obviously. But when it was up at the highs and I talked about shorting it, people would comment like, "Oh, you're insane. It's going to continue." Like they were so staunchly an advocate for Tesla and thinking it was just going to go up forever that honestly, I turned to my business partner and I said, "Guys, I said this is the top because whenever you get people kind of irrationally bullish or irrationally bearish, that's when a stock is going to turn." And sure enough, it turned perfectly. So I mean, I couldn't tell. I mean, you guys probably heard it. Some of you guys probably heard how the people that love Tesla were just like they wouldn't even hear you out. I mean, you say, "Oh, I think it's overvalued," you'd be like, "Oh, you're full of shit. You're full of crap. You're an insane person. You're gonna lose all your money." And as soon as you start hearing that, then you have to say to yourself, "Okay, this is a secondary signal that tells me that I am right. I am right." All right, and sure enough, look at this collapse. And I'm sure a lot of small investors are left holding the bag, and that's really too bad. Hopefully they got out. Hopefully they know the levels to buy. If not, remember, listen, bottom line is we have the research center at inthemoneystocks.com. I encourage you to come join it because we give you the stock signals, when to short and when to buy. And these are swing trades. So what you're doing is you're holding it for a couple weeks, maybe a month, and the idea is you're looking for a very large gain over a short period by timing the moves. So again, the idea is if you had shorted right here at the highs on Tesla at 380, I mean, you could have made $70 on the drop here in a matter of 2 weeks. That's the type of gain you're looking for. And when it bounces, it will bounce very quickly in the very beginning. We take that move and then we move on to the next trade. So again, there's a 7-day free trial. Come join us at inthemoneystocks.com. Take the 7-day free trial to the research center. Enjoy it. Profit from it. Take